Podcast of three-country ride to cure breast cancer, presented by SpotLink and benefiting the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Today, as part of our daily Morning Mingle series, we have the pleasure of speaking with David Bridgewater, the circulation librarian here at the Stevenson Memorial Library. Thank you for being here, David. Appreciate your time. So we're here in Greenfield, New Hampshire. Can you tell us a little bit about the city here?
Well, it's a town,
Okay,
not a city. It's a typical small New England town. It's got a few small industries, a lot of tradespeople, a lot of commuters to business, to work elsewhere. And that's probably it as far as the makeup of the town is concerned. What else can I say about it?
How many residents live here about?
That I don't know.
Okay, all right. That's a little off the cuff there. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about the Stevenson Memorial Library here?
Well, it's to my mind, it's the center of the center of the town. We have a lot of activities going on in the library and organized by the library. Over here, we have things like Jeff Warner Presents, Banjos, Bones and Ballads. It's coming up, Out of This World. Not quite sure. That's part of the summer reading kickoff event. So we have lots of events like that to encourage reading with the kids. We have a preschool story time in the morning on Wednesday. We have two children's reading groups. We have an adults readings group. You may see around the library there's a lot of watercolor paintings. We have an ongoing changing exhibition of art. The last one was quilts made by local quilters. Before that it was photography. What else have we got? We have, going back to the town, we have lots and lots of volunteers, again like your typical New England town. We have the fire department, of course. We have the givers, the Greenfield Independent Volunteers, do all sorts of fundraising and organizing. We have the library trustees, the Friends of the Library. We also have a community garden. That's probably about it as far as that's concerned.
Okay. Any notable collection items in your library collection, or?
No, nothing like that. It's really all about the activities in the library. We, going back to when I was a kid, it was just books. Now we have, of course, computers you can borrow. You've got videos. You've got audio books. We have over there. We have a telescope you can borrow. And then as all of the meetings. Oh, we have a quilters group meets once a month. We have watercolor people here. We have a knitting group. And I'm sure there must be others that I can't remember right now.
And I understand this building was originally from the early 20th century, 19...
Yes, I think so, yes. And then there was an extension put on about 20 years ago. So, yeah.
Do you know who the library is named after? I noticed it's a Stevenson Memorial Library.
I guess it's named after Stevenson, but that's as far as I can go.
Okay, all right. Okay. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do in your daily job as a circulation librarian?
Yes. I meet and greet. I sit at the desk at the front, so people come in and I say, good morning, can I help you? If they're strangers, obviously, if they're just returning books, I just check those books in and check books out. People ask me questions, like somebody came in the other day, they wanted, did we have a fax machine? No, we don't, but our library director is able to do some jiggery-pokery on high tech and was able to do it for her. Somebody else came in, wanted help with the photocopier. Somebody else came in and wanted, somehow we got talking. She was looking for a car and a camper. I was able to point her in two different directions to try and find those. That's the sort of thing I do. And then, but that's minor. It's a major part of my job, but it's a minor time part. The major thing is we get lots of books donated to us, books and videos. They have to be assessed. Are we going to have them in our collection or not? So we have to do an assessment of whether they're going to be popular, are they in good condition, how many other libraries have the same book, And then once that is decided to go on the shelves, along with our new books that we're buying, they have to be catalogued, which means a lot of data entry. And we print out barcodes and spine labels, put them on, and we have to wrap the books in various ways, depending on whether it's a paperback or a hardback. And I spend most of my time doing that.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Well, of course, we're doing this ride from Tijuana, Mexico to St. Stephen, Canada, to benefit the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Is there anything about our cause that's personal to you?
Well, I talked to my wife about this. We don't actually know. We know very few people who have acknowledged that they have or had cancer. It seems to be still a very hush-hush disease, just like AIDS used to be. People don't admit what they've got. So yeah, no, I don't know anybody really personally that has cancer.
Well, you're very fortunate. That's
Yes.
good to hear. So, we're riding to Manchester today.
Mm-hmm.
Any advice for our journey today?
Well, if you were local, I would have said the next town across that you're going to pass through is Francistown. They do the best Labor Day parade in the area. There's the parade itself. There's White Elephant. There are craft stalls, all sorts of activities during the day. And so that will be the first thing, but you're not local, so you probably won't come. But going into Manchester, you're going to be cycling along the river at one point for quite a way. It's a gorgeous area. Enjoy. That's all I can say is enjoy.
We have been, and I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
One final question. Is there a weird fact you know and want to share?
Yes. I won't tell you about my first thought because that is nothing to do with America at all. But anyway, the high bush blueberry was developed from bushes in this town. Back in 1900-something, a botanist called Frederick Coville came and bought a farm here in town. He worked in Washington, D.C. He came to have somewhere to bring his kids in the summer so they knew more about being out in the open. And he got intrigued by the high and low bush blueberries, which up to that point nobody had been able to dig up and transplant or to develop them from the seeds. And he discovered that you need acid soil, they need a winter freeze, basically, and you don't want much you don't need much fertilizer in the soil. They thrive on nothing. And then one of his neighbors had a nice wild blueberry bush, half-inch berries, and he crossed that with some low bush and various other things, and out of that work, over the next 20-odd years, the whole blueberry bush industry came out. So that's actually into fame.
Okay, so if you have some of those blueberries, you know where they came from now.
Yes,
So.
absolutely.
Well, thank you, David, so much
You're
for
welcome.
taking the time with us today.
Thank you for raising money for an awareness for breast cancer.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to head out now. Connectivity allowing, catch us for our live Noon from the Road update, and of course, we'll see you at our 8 p.m. recap. See you then.